WNBA, what do I always say? The gift that keeps on giving. And if there's anybody who is welcome to chime in and blast Kathy Engelbert and blast the WNBA for the
stunning news has just rocked the WNBA world. The icon of modern basketball, Caitlin Clark, is making headlines, but this time it's not for stepping onto the court. She's stepping onto the golf course, and she's not alone. Caitlin is joining the world's top golf tournament alongside Sophie Cunningham and Lexie Hull at Florida's LPGA Pro-Am. And guess what? The WNBA is in full panic mode. Fans are calling it the biggest crossover in sports history because this isn't just another move, and it's a statement.
Is getting back on the golf course again this offseason, participating in the Annika golf outing. And she has a couple of caddies that are going to be taking the course alongside her in the form of Sophie Cunningham and Lexie Hull. Sophie and Lexie kind of called this shot, or especially Sophie did, back before when it was first announced that Caitlin was going to do this event.
Caitlin Clark just got 2 caddies for her upcoming golf tournament. And one of them is Sophie Cunningham. Please smash the like button if you're riding with Caitlin Clark before we dive into this wild turn of events. And tell me in the comments whether you think she should permanently leave the WNBA if golf brings her more love and respect. Now,
obviously, this is the tournament Caitlin Clark's playing in, the golf tournament. So as you guys can see, Lexie Hull is in fact a guest caddy at this golf tournament, and Sophie Cunningham.
It all started when Caitlin Clark received an official invitation from the LPGA to compete in the Anna Caprum, one of the world's most prestigious tournaments. No one could predict what her next move would be. Immediately after accepting, she called Lexie Hull and Sophie Cunningham. Her message was simple and clear. Let's show them what real respect looks like. Golf had opened a door for her, a chance not just to play, but to be celebrated. While the WNBA had given her fouls, criticism, and cheap shots, LPGA icons like Tiger Woods, Annika Sorenstam, and Nelly Korda welcomed her with open arms. They recognized her talent and said, "This young woman is something special." Chaos erupted after the news broke. Panic swept through the WNBA offices as the story spread all the way to the golf course at Anna Caprum.
On the golf course at Annika LPGA Pro-Am. So here it says 2 Fever teammates to caddy at the Annika Pro-Am, highlighted by Caitlin Clark's return. Caitlin Clark will again tee it up with Nelly Korda, joined this year by Fever teammates Lexie Hull and Sophie Cunningham as celebrity caddy.
According to reports, Kathy Engelbert immediately called her legal team and demanded that Caitlin reconsider. "If you go to the LPGA, you'll violate media contracts," she warned. Caitlin, however, remained unwavering. She simply smiled and said, "You cannot stop me from shining." At that moment, the situation went nuclear. Fans began comparing numbers and were shocked by what they found. Sponsorship money in golf had skyrocketed tenfold. Peer respect was off the charts, and the LPGA was already planning record-breaking coverage for her appearance. Viewership was surging. The internet erupted when Caitlin was spotted practicing her swing alongside Nelly Korda in a leaked clip. In seconds, that clean, powerful swing went viral, earning the nickname "the shot heard round the sports world" from commentators. Even LeBron James retweeted it, declaring that Caitlin is now in a league of her own. Meanwhile, Lexie Hull and Sophie Cunningham were right there by her side.
Debut, and it is no fault of hers that I got upset. It is the fault of the WNBA because the LPGA just did everything that the WNBA should have been doing this season. They did it all correct in literally one day. So I talked about it in a previous video how this Pro-Am event originally wasn't even going to be televised, but there were so many fans who were emailing the organization saying, "How can we watch Caitlin? Can we come to the event? Can you live stream it?" All of these things. And it ended up being put on television. And that was great. Fans were really excited about that. There was so much buzz online. She was trending on Twitter, all of the things. And the LPGA was promoting the crap out of this event. And they also did something really smart by pairing her up with their currently #1 golfer in the world. And her name is Nelly Korda. So there are photos of Caitlin and Nelly literally everywhere. And the LPGA was so smart in doing this because they knew that there would be so many eyeballs on Caitlin. So if they put their number one golfer who...
With course introductions and private plane arrivals, the LPGA rolled out the red carpet. The crowd cheered, something the WNBA has never been able to inspire. Inside the WNBA offices, there was a heavy silence. Sources report that, in a panic over this player crossover event, Cathy Engelbert called an urgent meeting with team owners. What's left for the WNBA if Caitlin Clark, Lexie Hull, and Sophie Cunningham start attracting millions of golf fans? Sponsorships are freezing their deals, and ratings have already dropped 27% this quarter. One insider even told ESPN, if Caitlin isn't back for 2026, the WNBA may not even survive.
Having Brianna and Carson joining Caitlin at the Annika is an opportunity for Gamebridge to showcase the variety in our sports sponsorship portfolio. In addition, as partners with the Indiana Fever, we look forward to welcoming Caitlin's teammates Sophie and Lexie to Tampa Bay to elevate and shine a spotlight on women's sports. Gamebridge is the presenting sponsor of the event, once again putting a spotlight on women's sports. The annual LPGA tournament features the world's best female golfers competing for a share of $3.25 million purse and proceeds benefiting the Annika Foundation. For Clark, Hull, and Cunningham, it's a chance to strengthen connections across women's sports while continuing
Across women's sports, Caitlin Clark continues to make waves, but she's seeking peace, not drama. Golf gave me what the WNBA took away, respect, she told her entourage. And that statement hit harder than any buzzer beater she's ever made. The LPGA has now confirmed record-breaking pre-sale tickets, with the majority of fans citing Caitlin Clark as their main reason for attending. People are flying in from other states and even other countries just to see her swing. Insider leaks suggest that brands have already lined up proposals totaling over $100 million. Rumor has it that Caitlin, Sophie, and Lexie are even planning to organize their own charity event.
Video of the fans cheering her, signing things, taking photos, their players hanging out with Caitlin, and obviously they're showing their golfers as well. But Caitlin Clark is all over this, and this was the perfect opportunity for the WNBA to do, like, have you seen it when an NBA player or a football player goes to an NBA game or
Around the world, sports are gaining icons as the WNBA loses its stars. This is the question everyone is asking. Will Caitlin Clark's WNBA career be over, or is something much bigger about to begin? Why would she return to basketball after experiencing the love, respect, and billion-dollar attention that golf provides? Share your thoughts below. Should Caitlin give the WNBA one last chance or stay in golf for good? And because this story has just taken a major turn, share this video if you believe respect matters more than simply following the rules. This is where the tale becomes bigger than a single golf tournament appearance. Caitlin Clark has proven once again that greatness cannot be confined to a single arena, one role, or just one expectation. From the very first time she stepped onto a basketball court, she carried a level of passion, effort, and connection that few athletes can match.
There's Caitlin Clark with Nelly Korda, who, was impressed with Caitlin's poise on the golf course last year, even with the crowds, and said she got into women's basketball because of Caitlin. Sophie Cunningham says, Caitlin Clark need a couple of caddies. Lexie Hull with the smiling face or whatever that is and some beer cheers. And Lexie Hull says, sign us up. And you thought that was the end of it, right? At least I did. I did not think we'd be revisiting that. Just felt like the cute little remnants of the Instagram comments section. But it is actually happening.
As Caitlin Clark steps into the world of golf, she brings that same spark with her. The excitement, the awe, the celebration we're witnessing isn't just about a sport, a tournament, or a crossover event. It's about recognition. Recognition of talent, recognition of hard work, and most of all, recognition of value. Sports are built on stories. And Caitlin Clark's journey is quickly becoming one of those rare stories that transcends boundaries. She's proving to the world that an athlete doesn't need to be confined to a single path, one category, or just one league to make a lasting impact. She's showing that greatness resides in the person.
We'll have the GOAT, Caitlin Clark, bringing Lexie Hull and Sophie Cunningham along for the ride as golf caddies. at her golf tournament.
Whether on the hardwood of a basketball court or the quiet green of a golf course, Caitlin Clark's presence inspires people to watch, to feel, and to truly connect. That is a quality that cannot be taught. It is earned through years of hard work, discipline, and unwavering self-belief. Her decision to compete in the LPGA Pro-Am alongside teammates like Sophie Cunningham and Lexie Hull also demonstrates something deeper: unity.
Taking her talents to the golf course, where she will join Clark for the Annika Pro-Am tournament next week. Unlike Clark, however, Cunningham will not play in the tournament. She and Fever teammate Lexie Hull have committed to be Clark's guest.
When female athletes support one another instead of competing for limited attention, their influence grows, their reach expands, and their voices become louder. Their teamwork sends a message to young athletes everywhere. You don't have to be alone to be strong. You can build together, shine together, and rise together. And perhaps that is the most powerful part of this moment, not the event itself, but the meaning behind it. It shows that women's sports are evolving. They are no longer confined. The world is ready to celebrate skill, personality, leadership, and pure passion across all arenas. Fans have responded with enthusiasm, excitement, and overwhelming support. That support isn't tied to a league, a brand, or a single contract. It's tied to Caitlin Clark herself, to her story, her grit, and her spirit. So now the real question isn't whether Caitlin Clark will stay in basketball or continue exploring golf.
Clark has opened up the opportunity for both Sophie Cunningham and Lexie Hull to be a part of this huge non-basketball event. So again, when you talk about Caitlin Clark opening things up for other people, it's not just on the basketball court. That is the kind of...
The real question is, are we ready to support her wherever her journey takes her? Athletes don't become icons by staying in one place. They become icons by growing, evolving, learning, and pushing the boundaries around them. Caitlin Clark's story is still being written, and this chapter is just the beginning of something bigger, something meaningful, something lasting. Whether she returns to the basketball court next season or forges a new path into golf, one thing is certain: she has earned the respect, admiration, and loyalty of millions. And respect is far more valuable than any award, trophy, or stat sheet. Respect endures. Respect inspires the next generation. So, as this new chapter unfolds, let us support her, celebrate her, and lift her up. Greatness isn't defined by a single sport. Greatness is measured by how boldly someone pursues their passion and how deeply they inspire others along the way. Thank you for watching, for backing women's sports, and for remembering that this journey is just getting started. Stay inspired, stay curious, and stand behind the athletes brave enough to forge their own path, wherever it may lead.